Spotify crowd and all. Yeah, and all that other shit. So yeah, man, we gonna go on and let me know when y'all ready, boss man.
Man, we ready when you ready to roll. You got no stand like that to hold this thing?
No, you want a microphone stand?
Yeah. I like to talk with my hands, man. I talk a lot.
Her mic him, and then I hold the microphone. I always been wanting a nigga to hold the microphone like James Brown. Shit, Michael Jackson, they ain't let me the microphone. I ain't never like this mic shit. Yeah. Say, I'm the nigga. Say, can y'all hear me out there? Say, what about y'all in the back? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What about on this side right here? Yeah, I always been that kind of nigga. Give me the mic back. Yeah, give me the motherfucking microphone, baby. And I'm gonna talk like a motherfucker. Say, what about y'all up there? Can y'all hear me? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Yeah.
Like in your pocket?
Okay.
Yeah, I got the microphone. Can y'all hear me, Jack? Say microphone testing 1, 2, 3. Charleston White is on the mic tonight, and we go bust the police in the ass tonight with truth and no lies. Truth and no lies. They know they're shaking in their boots, cause we don't tell the truth. And I don't know how to rap, but I sure know how to cap on YouTube. I can cap on YouTube, cause I got the biggest YouTube channel in America. And everybody watching me like Erica Banks. Nigga. Yeah. Yeah, give me the mic. Yeah, mic that nigga up, but give me the mic. Yeah, we gonna rock the mic tonight, nigga. Yeah. Thinking of a master plan. Cause I ain't. See, this motherfucker don't want to stay. We'll rock it like that. Yeah, there we go. Thinking of a master plan, cause ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands, so I dig into my pocket, all my money and spent as I go deeper, and still coming up with lint, so I start my mission, leave my residence, thinking how I could against the dead president. I didn't used to be a stick-up kid, so I think of all the things I did. I used to roll up, this is a hole up, ain't nothing funny, stop, yeah, I wish I could rap, damn, I wish I could rap. Well, if I could rap, I'd be a bad motherfucker. I just can't put this shit together. I've been trying for years. Y'all ready, boss?
Let's get ready to rock and roll, man. Let's do this thing, man. Let's do this thing.
Let me know when y'all ready.
What
We're
Billy?
about to check y'all.
Y'all about to check.
Yeah, Billy. It's going down, y'all. It's finna go down. We finna lay
Say,
some
man,
more
y'all
down.
finna hear something y'all probably ain't never heard before.
Okay.
The truth about the police.
It should set you free.
Yeah, somebody who done
Set you
been through the
free.
academy. You talking about 18 years, man. That's almost 2 decades.
18 seasons.
Yeah, 18 seasons. Boy, ain't no telling how many niggas been put in jail. Yeah, golly. But now you was in school for a while, wasn't you?
Yeah, I was in school
Okay.
for a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then y'all finna get to know why they put the police in the schools. I used to think they were lying with the school to prison pipeline. I ain't bullshit. I used to think that was a made up bullshit. Man, they ain't putting no police in the school just to arrest kids. But the police in the schools is the principal's bulldogs. Get that boy. Well, he ain't done nothing. I said, get him. But he ain't done nothing. Get him. that's how that's for real. That's how it is. The police, but get him. I told him to shut up and he didn't shut up. I arrest him now. So yeah, that's how they do it. We don't know that. We thinking the kids at school fucking up getting arrested. So what I did, I went and done some research. And I found out that over 50% of the kids that's incarcerated in Fort Worth Juvenile Detention Center, as well as committed to the state correctional facilities or on some type of probation, they was not arrested on the streets. They was referred through the school system. So the school system is the breeding ground for criminality for a kid to catch a criminal record. Yeah, boy, when I was in school, we were fucking in locker rooms and up. We ain't have to worry about no bullshit ass police ass fucking with us. Yeah. But these kids today, they got too many challenges. And learning is the least of their problems. They got to worry about a white boy principal who don't like a nigga who smell like black and mild smoke and want it to be weed. And since he's such a problematic child, when he catch him down bad with the black and mild, he say it's weed. And the kids say, this ain't weed, dumb motherfucker, this is black and mild. See, look. And he say, no, that's weed. Hey, arrest that kid for weed. And the police come and say, man, turn around. Now where the evidence at? And the police say, but no, this ain't marijuana. This is tobacco. That ain't. Now I saw him with weed. Well, can you produce the weed, sir? No, but I seen it, and he got it on him. No, I can't arrest this kid. Y'all ready to start?
Yes,
Let's start.
All right, man. Say what's up, baby? This is Charleston White. Another week and another episode of gang related, not gang related, man. We got a real motherfucking special day to guest. We got a honest cop. That's gone. I was gonna say a bad cop that's gone rogue, but that's the Hollywood story.
Yeah, that's
we got a real life story of a good cop that stayed good and got punished for being good.
Right.
And we go see why they protect bad officers and why they punish good officers.
Right.
What's up with it, Dewberry?
Yeah, man, y'all know what time it is, man. Y'all got that boy Do right here. You know what I'm saying? We finna put some good game on the ground for you hungry hounds, man. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a kind of a different vibe right here because we gonna lay down the game for some truth. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanna know the truth. Well, guess what? We got an 18-year vet finna give y'all the truth, man. So I ain't finna hold y'all up no more, man. So I'm gonna let them introduce
Black
themselves.
police showing out for the white cop. Hell, Ice Cube was sworn on any motherfucker in a blue uniform. Say that's what Cube said. And I used to think Cube, I ain't never met a black police officer that showed out for a white cop. I ain't never met now. I swear to God, I ain't never met a black police officer who showed out for a white cop until I met Antoine.
Oh, man.
And Tracy Carter. Yeah, until I met Antoine Williams. Now, Antoine Williams is a high-ranking Fort Worth police officer. This nigga got the muscles of a middle linebacker. He got the face of a college professor that fucked the undergrad students. He a high-ranking police officer. He used to be over gang unit. He been promoted to lieutenant some motherfucking while. But when he would work drug task force enforcement, he was the nigga that come in and kick in the dope houses and give a nigga a black eye, kick niggas in the mouth, break niggas collarbone with the white boys, right? On the way out the door, if you got a pair of pretty motherfucking Michael Jordan tennis shoes or some Gucci's or some Louis Vuitton shoes, he was like Denzel Washington in Training Day. He gonna take your motherfucking Michael Jordan team. You better not have none of them Space Jam Jordans that they can't do. You better not have none of them Space Jam Jordans. That nigga gonna take your Jordans and take you to jail. And you better not have the new Madden that came out. They think they laughing, but I'm telling the truth. This is a real police officer, man. This nigga stole a pair of Michael Jordan tennis shoes in a drug bust, and he stole a motherfucking PS4 video game. Took it home.
Man, go on, man.
I swear to God, and he a high-ranking law right now. Fuck all the bitches in the department and everything. But listen, right? So another police officer don't like him because they be fucking each other hoes, right? They fight over fucking each other hoes. So they go tell on him. They go tell on this nigga. During the drug bust, this nigga stole a pair of Michael Jordan tennis shoes in a video game. They said, I know that nigga ain't done that. They said, yeah, it is. So they put together a search warrant, go to this officer's house, and guess what's there?
What's that?
Them size 10.5 Michael Jordan tennis shoes. They fit his feet. They fit that nigga feet. They wasn't say, do you know them 10.5 is the popular pair? You know them 10.5 is the popular pair. They sell out of them fast. So they got the 10.5 Michael Jordan now. And guess what they found? Guess what they found in the PS4 in the living room? That motherfucking that Madden video game. It wasn't wrapped up, ready for the goddamn me. It wasn't where they put the shit up. Where was that supposed to go?
What's that?
When they find drugs and stuff like that, where they
the evidence room.
They didn't find that in the evidence room.
Yeah.
They didn't find it wrapped up with an evidence room tag on it. They found the Michael Jordan in the closet, and they found that video game inside the console spinning. So they fired that nigga ass. So while he was fired, he was working security at the Barcelona club downtown I used to go to. And boy, that nigga used to fuck some of the finest Latin hoes in the world down there while he was married. I ain't bullshit. I hope his wife watch it. Boy, that nigga used to fuck some hoes down there. I ain't bullshit. I used to want to fuck. I used to be mad at the motherfucker that he was fucking. He had one Colombian bitch I used to want so bad, and I used to see his buddy J.C. Williams over at the motherfucking Denny's over there off 820 and Beach. JC is another low down dirty motherfucking police officer that fuck all the whole here. I don't know why JC's still on the force, but you'll be able to tell her. I'm just painting a picture for y'all before we get there. So JC, they just fuck all the whole. And guess what? They used to beat them Mexicans up like a motherfucker downtown. Them drunk Mexicans at the club, they used to kick their motherfucking ass in an arena. It's like they was mad at Mexicans. And I say, oh, these niggas down here doing these Mexicans. It's like, you know how the white man do niggas at the club?
Yeah.
That's how they used to do the Mexicans. They used to pick on them Mexicans. Yeah, I ain't lying. I used to feel sorry for the Mexicans sometimes. But hell, I didn't give a damn. Yeah. So listen, so the nigga end up filing a grievance or whatever, so he get his job back. Now his reason for stealing the Michael Jordan tennis shoes is he just forgot to go take them and put them in the evidence room. So this nigga here is the leader, and he's been promoted. And he's a thief. So you know he's a liar if a nigga steal during a drug bust from his own people. So with that being said, we got a good one here. We got a good one. And what I mean by a good one, that operated in the right spirit,
right.
That did right because right is the right thing to do.
Right.
And with that being said, I want to introduce former Fort Worth police officer, Deotric Sims,
yes,
18-year veteran. How you doing, sir?
Man, I'm blessed, brother. I can't complain at all, man. You know, God's been good to me, so I'm good, brother. Charleston.
I made light of a lot of things, and it sound comical, and I said it in such a comical way because it almost sound preposterous, like I just made that up.
Right.
Did I make that up?
Well, you know what? here's what I'll say. Okay, and this is just my opinions about it. You said they came from your words. Those words came from your mouth.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I'm not going to agree with it or disagree with it. I would just say, look, you know, that right there, with everything that transpired, you know, there's some truth in it.
he was. Well, let's just say that he was accused of taking a Jordan tennis shoe.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
And according to the Fort Worth Star-Telegram, the shoes in that evidence was found at his home.
Correct.
Upon the police going to his home.
Right, absolutely.
Say no more.
Right.
Yeah, say no. Can't no weed end up at a nigga house.
Right, absolutely.
Ain't no nigga go take no key home.
Absolutely.
If he find an AK with the serial number sawed off, that's not gonna end up home.
Right.
How them goddamn Space Jam Michael Jordan tennis shoes end up at a nigga house and they just so happen to be his size? Yeah, that's a low down rotten nigga that's been taking. That's a nigga been taking money, all kind of shit. But let me ask you something.
Yeah.
What made you want to become a police officer?
Well, I'm from a small town called Corsa County, Texas. Class of '97. How y'all doing out there? But I'm from
that nigga younger than me.
Yeah.
He just taller than me. Yeah. He just taller. I'm the big brother on the podcast.
Right.
But say, little bro.
Right.
Say, little bro.
Yes,
Listen. I'm just fucking. So now, what made you? What aspiration to make a black kid want to become a cop?
Well, because you know, like I told you, I'm from a small town, Corsa County, Texas, and honestly, I didn't even want to be in law enforcement. You know, it just happened to fall up on me because when I was growing up, you know, just like any other, you know, black kid in the neighborhood, he was always taught negative about the police.
Yeah.
Right. So that's pretty much how it was with me as well. So, but when I started getting older, I started working, you know, several different jobs, anywhere from retail to food industry, you name it. I was actually working it. So when I turned 20 years old, my dad's brother, well, it's his play brother, but we can call him his brother. He's like, hey man, you're a good kid, man. You know, you never been in no trouble. You know, you've always been respectable. He's like, you need to try for law enforcement. And I didn't give no thought or whatever because I'm saying to myself, you know what? Just from growing up and how we was told about law enforcement is, perception of law enforcement at that time.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I just give it a shot. No problem at all. So what I did was I started working for the Dallas County Sheriff's Department. So I started working there. I did 4 years at Dallas Sheriff's Department. Basically, what I was a correction officer there at 20 years old. All right. So once I started working with the Dallas County Sheriff's Department, just dealing with inmates and people inside the jailhouse and whatnot, I said, you know what, I want to move forward with my career. And I said, instead of me walking around and being inside the jail institute itself, I want to advance my career and be on the streets and be able to be a better help in the community. That's all I've always wanted to do that. So during the time, I went ahead and applied for the Florida Police Department because at that time they had a mass hiring. This is right around 2004.
Who was chief at that time?
The chief at the time was Mendoza.
Okay,
it was Mendoza at the time.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and took the civil service test and the Florida Police Department. So that's how I ended up becoming a police department because it was something that I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to be able to be one of those officers that, be able to provide great service to the community, and I pride myself in doing that. That's what I did.
Country boy raised in the rural area.
Right.
Elder tell you, man, you've been a good kid, identify your good qualities and make a recommendation and say, man, you ought to go into law enforcement. And so you do that.
Right.
And so you set out to be a law enforcement. So you have no preconceived notions of what you should be.
Right.
You just coming to do something good.
Right, absolutely. Doing something good. That's right.
What was the reason that you wanted to do something good? Did you see, do you have anybody that's in your family member that you know that's been incarcerated? Have you seen any kind of police brutality? What have you seen to make you say, man, you know what? I can make a change.
Right.
Did you see anything going on like that in the community that you was in?
Yeah. We saw, domestic violences that was going on at the particular time, with, family members and friends and so on and so forth and whatnot. So, when I was a young child, just seeing all this, I'm saying to myself, that's something I can definitely, when I get older, if I can get in a position to do something that can help somebody out, because, just from seeing everything when I grew up, I said, yeah, I'll definitely do that. And so that's what made me, want to pursue, being an officer and whatnot. So that's what happened with that.
So 20 years old as a correctional officer.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of power with them keys in your hand.
Yeah.
It's a lot of power. I'm sure you're mature at 20, but you still lack the brain capacity.
There you go.
To not be impulsive, right?
Right.
You're learning how to not be impulsive. But it's some days, nigga beating on the wall saying, "Fuck you, nigga, little old square ass nigga. You don't know nothing about nothing." See, they can't train you to have a response for that.
No.
How did you learn how to respond to the other side of the glass?
Oh man, when you grow up, when you're growing up inside the neighborhood that you live in, you hear people, talking like that all day long or whatnot. So, I'm one of those kind of guys that, I have a really, really thick skin. So stuff like that, talking like that kind of language, it never bothered me, not one bit, growing up. So when you hear somebody, inside the jailhouse cussing you out and screaming and fighting and going on and whatnot, look, man, I'm from the country, man. We hear that stuff all the time, and it just go in one ear and out the other. But it's entertaining to me. I tell you that. I used to get a kick out of doing that, and some of these people inside the jailhouse, when they would kind of throw their fit, and we go out there and and deal with them. But for the most part, man, it go in one ear and out the other. Man, it never bothered me, not one bit.
So you never took the job personally?
No, never take the job personally. No, couldn't do that.
So how do you think? Working in the county jail, working with the inmates, how do you think that prepare you to become a police officer?
Man, that's a good question, Charleston, because I would tell new recruits in the police department that have never had no experience in law enforcement whatsoever, that if you want to get inside, if you want to become a real effective police officer, that I would tell them all the time, start somewhere in like a jail facility, so that way you can get used to
people.
Yeah, so you can get used to
criminals. Yeah.
You can get used to people, because I tell you this, when I became a police officer and the correction officer and a police officer, I've had all these. I've had so much different training over my course of the years. I've had all kind of licenses. I've been through so many different classes. But what they don't teach you in law enforcement, and this is very important to law enforcement worldwide, is communication. There's no training. There's no training at all for communication, and that's where a lot of police officers.
Well, that's the barrier.
That's it. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And that's where a lot of communication is like the number one problem in law enforcement, because that's like 90-something% of your job.
That's why when they tell you to do something and you don't do it, they don't know what to do besides force.
There you go.
Yeah,
right,
exactly.
right. Absolutely.
That's why they don't know what to do.
Right.
They don't know the art of communicating.
Right.
Either shoot you, put the cuffs on you, or we jump on you.
Right.
So if I'm having a bad day and they having a bad day because they boss been fucking with them, they lack the communication that I need for all of us to get home safely.
Absolutely.
Facts.
Absolutely right.
Facts.
Absolutely right.
So
Absolutely right.
That makes sense.
So what you're saying is very few officers that had communication skills.
They did, yeah. There's a very few amount of officers that do actually have communication skills. Very few. All right. But like I told you, when you get to the police academy with Fort Worth Police Department, what they do is once you get inside the police department, I mean, they pretty much, it's almost like the military. They strip you all the way down.
Your mama ain't shit. Your dad ain't shit. Listen, that nigger shit you think you know, they gonna get that shit up out of you.
They strip you down, man, because you sometimes you're dealing with some officers or some trainees that's, want to become a police officer. They never been into no fight. They probably ain't never been into no really good deep altercation with nobody. Meaning verbal communication and whatnot. Probably ain't never been cussed out.
Never ain't seen a black guy.
Probably, yeah, that too.
Never even been close up on a nigger.
Right. So when you that's when you go to police. When you come to the police academy, like I told you, they strip you all the way down and build you up how they want you to build up. Yeah. But see, when I came into the academy, I had already had, the experience from growing up, seeing my, being a product of my environment with dealing with people and talking with people and then started working at a young age and then working inside the jails. So I already been knowing how to communicate when I got into the police department. I mean, when I got to the police academy, so I was already good there, because I know how to talk to people.
So when you say tear you down, typically most people aren't joining the police force late in age.
It's very, very, very rare. Yeah. Because sometimes some people will come to the police department if they are like leaving a military branch or something like that. Yeah. And then they will, get into the police department. But it's very rare.
But very, very few citizens are waking up at 35, 36, 40 years old. So, man, I'm gonna go be a cop.
There you go. Right.
So basically what we're getting young people who are going into the academy under 25 years old.
Right.
Their brains are not developed.
Right.
So the development part of the last function to develop of their brain gets shaped by the police.
You can say that, yes, sir.
So they strip them. So typically most people who join the military, most people who join police, I say 3 out of 10 are confident in who they are. Mm-hmm. 3 out of 10.
I would say that. That's the number there. I would say about 3 out of 10.
3 out of 10. Most are looking for an identity. Most are looking for something to validate.
Right. Facts. There you go. Facts. There you go.
So that's why they go to the military. Or that's why they become firefighters. Right. They're trying to validate something.
Right.
So once you get in and you get accepted, you get through the academy. The academy, I guess, is the brainwashing.
That is, yeah, it is. Yep, you're talking about between 7-8 months of nothing but being in the academy,
day in, day out.
Day in and day out.
You with your police academy recruits. Y'all developing friendships and bonds.
Right.
y'all are being pulled away from what you think you belong to.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Whatever you thought your mama taught you, whatever you thought, you are no longer those people. You are us now.
Right. Right.
And in the process of that, you have guys that's over the academy. They have access to these young people.
Right.
Not just their minds, but their bodies as well.
There you go.
They get to fuck a lot of these young girls. Come on, man. We go be real.
I heard a lot. I heard a lot of that's going on as well. But I haven't actually seen it. But
I know you ain't gonna see it. They ain't finna let no.
They're not gonna let you know.
They ain't gonna let no. No. You got to be in to be in.
Right. See,
yeah.
But see, he said something that was viable. He said they tear you down, and once they tear you down, you are already dealing with kids that do not have a developmental. So therefore, they able to install certain things into these officers.
Right.
So is it safe to say that the training process has a lot to do with the way an officer acts?
Yeah, you can definitely say that as well. That the training does have a lot of way that can, it does have a lot of way that officer can, conduct himself and behave out there. So yeah, I would definitely agree with that as well. Yeah, because again, you're dealing with some people that's, like he said, brains haven't been developed yet. You're dealing with some people that have not been into, a confrontation, never been into a physical confrontation as well, let alone, a verbal confrontation as well. So yeah, so you will have, this training officer that's training, at that particular time, he is building them up like he want to,
like he wants to be built up.
Yeah, you can definitely, yeah. Oh yeah.
So they can build you up the way, hey man, you see that? Don't worry about them. Don't say nothing. This is what you do.
Right.
When they say something to you, this is what I want you to do.
Right.
And then when you can program, you can program anybody like that.
You can, especially if you're one of those individuals that you operate off somebody else's mind or operate off somebody else's thinking.
That's most people.
Yeah, you're right. I agree. So, but as for me, when I came into the academy, like I told you, I had already, I done already been through a whole lot in my life coming up to the academy, and I did a whole bunch of things as well. So I was already fully developed.
Let me ask you something.
I was already developed.
When you was in the academy,
yeah,
and you went home at night, did you pray?
I prayed all the time. Oh yeah.
Did you ever look for your wrongs? But no, we'll get there. We'll get there. Cause I wanna walk through this, right?
Okay.
I don't want to get ahead.
Okay.
So you get through the academy. What's it like? What's the feeling that you get to graduate from the academy?
Oh man, I can speak on that. That's a good question, Charleston. For me, it was very stressful. It was very stressful because at the time, I'm still trying to make ends meet. I got a family. I have 2 young kids at the time. So I'm trying to manage that. I'm trying to manage my household. But then they give you a lot of books. Okay, a lot of books. You have to know the law. You have to know the law. You have to know the general orders. You got to know the CCP. And then on top of all that, you have to. They keep you. You have to take tests. Like you take a test almost like every other day. And when I was going through the academy at the time, you had a total of about 60 to 70 tests. If you failed 3 tests and the academy was seven months long.
Yeah.
If you failed 3 tests, you will finish. So the tests start out real easy.
Oh, they got pressure. They got pressure on y'all ass.
Man, we got a lot of pressure, brother.
Ooh,
oh yeah.
wait.
And then not even that. So
no wonder they go to cheating during that. No wonder they say during recruit. Yeah, no wonder. Yeah, okay, it makes sense.
Yeah. So once you once you start, the tests start out easy, and then they start getting real tough. All right. But then towards the end of all that, because see, the test is supposed to prepare you for the state test. That's the reason why they make the test real difficult. It's not a pushover neither.
Well, let me just stop you right there.
Yeah.
The testing phase, right? So many different tests. You having to pass state test is a psychological breakdown of your belief system.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You can come in there, and you can say, man, I'm gonna be for black people, and I'm gonna be for my people, and I'm gonna mistreat white people. But in order for you to maintain that belief and maintain that energy, you have to pass their test.
You gotta pass the test. Yep.
And it will be hard to maintain that energy with that pressure of having to pass those tests.
Right.
So you become weakened
Right.
in your mind and your psyche from the pressures of having to pass that test. And that's where they come in at.
I feel like that's where the brainwashing comes in.
Shit, come on, nigga, 60, 70
You see what I'm
tests. Nigga, you ain't, your mental compartment, you can't think no more.
Yeah.
You are no longer thinking on your own terms. If you taking 60 to 70 tests, nigga, every other day for 7 months, you can't think. You can't be a husband. You can't be a father.
Yeah, I mean, it takes the police academy. It takes a lot out of you mentally, and because you're doing physical training as well or whatnot. So you have to you doing a lot of working out physically as well, because you have to every day you're doing studying, and also you're doing PT and DT, meaning physical training and defensive tactics as well. And then but you know, it seemed like every month we were basically it's almost like every month they're building you up to become, you know, a police officer, whatever. So 1 month, you know, you're doing you're doing defensive tactics with your baton, all right, and then you graduate from your baton to now you go into deadly force, which is your your weapon, your firearm, all right. Exactly. And you got to go through training with that as well. So and then they started showing you how to do defensive tactics and whatnot. So because some people ain't never been in a fight. Some people ain't never been in a fight at all.
More police officers, you can whoop them. Yeah. 75% of motherfuckers with a badge on, you can kick their ass if you fought one-on-one.
But yeah, some people ain't never been in a fight, whatever. So, but like I said, every month you are graduating. They're putting an extra tool in your belt that you can use, so that when you go out on the street, you know how to.
Listen. They building you up, right?
Yeah.
By the time you get to with PT and DT, they building you up, and at the same time, they clearing out your database. Your normal civilian recollection.
Right, but when they doing that, you're not understanding that at the time. You're not understanding
Talk to me, man. Man, we say
you're not understanding that when they clearing out your database like that. You're just thinking that, hey, look, I'm just gonna groove through this time while I'm here and just groove through it, fight through it, and do what these folks tell me to do right now, because I'm trying to get past all this, and so that way I can be out there on the streets and do what I have to do.
Go ahead, dude.
It's a question I want to know.
Yeah.
Do they teach y'all how to how should I say this? How to address different cultures?
No, I told you one thing about the police department. We got all kind of training, but when it comes to communicating, man, you on your own. So you don't.
Goddamn.
Yeah,
they do y'all that, and now you get me out here. I'm a killing machine.
Because my thing is,
they don't teach you how to communicate with different cultures.
We don't teach. What I mean by that, because I feel like that should always be a training to where, okay, this guy is drunk. How do you handle that situation when you got a drunk guy that's like this or like this? You know what I'm saying? How do you attack that? Then you got a guy that's over here that just got into it with his girlfriend, and he aggressive.
Right.
And he's talking and he's moving, but he's like, so they're not. So what you telling me is that they not giving y'all the skills to be able to how to handle that kind of situation.
All black people talk with their hands. Black people not black, they just talk with their hands.
Right. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, so they're not giving you. Well, okay. There was a part in the training where we call scenario training. All right, but it's black. It's something simple. All right, it's nothing that's going to be difficult at all. All right. So we do have a scenario training that we do. You have the training officer. I mean, the person that's over the training department. He'll tell you, hey, this is what's going on. He'll read it out and say, hey, this is a domestic disturbance situation. Boyfriend hit girlfriend, and basically put the whole scenario together and ask you, and you have to play a role. You have to play a role on how you would address that situation, and they'll tell you, hey, okay, now this person made this. So like it's like 3 or 4 scenarios they give you. So another scenario might be somebody's combative, and he's not listening to police. And how would you address that? So they do scenarios.
Okay,
all right?
man.
But as far as like communicate with different cultures, they don't do that. You have to, you have to pretty much figure that out and take care of how you know how to take care of. And that's like I told you, that's when communication is very important.
Okay,
Exactly.
so you say getting ready to graduate from the academy, it was stressful for you. So when you graduated, what was it like to graduate and get your badge and say you are now a Fort Worth police officer?
Man, it was I feel like it was a great reward for me because I struggled on the in the beginning with the test. So I had failed when I was going to the police academy. I had failed like 2 early tests. I'm talking about inside of 2 months. So man, it was just I had to groove. I had to grind those last 5 months or whatever. So on my end, it was really stressful. But when I made it through, matter of fact, no. When I passed the state test the first time, I didn't take no second, third time. I took one time to pass the state test. So when I did all that, graduating was like, man, okay, cool. I feel like I accomplished what I accomplished. I've done what I've done. I put my best foot forward. Now I can move forward in my career with now. So it was a thing of beauty for me.
Did you ever feel like quitting?
After
you failed those 2 tests, did you ever think, man, I got 5 more months. Ain't nowhere in the world I'm gonna do this?
Oh no, I ain't do that. No, I talked with my mama. I talked with my parents, some loved ones or whatnot, and they said, no, you still in the ball game.
Yeah.
Pray about it, and God's gonna make a way for you. So that's what I did. Yeah, I prayed about it, man, but I didn't want to quit.
So here it is. You got a badge, and they say, okay, you got your gun. Now you out on the streets as a rookie. What was life like as a rookie?
Oh man, stressful. That was a whole nother stress level as well, because you're this person, the training officer that you're working with, because you're gonna be a rookie for 3 months. Every month you're learning from a different training officer. A training officer gonna have you a month at a time. So these people that you are riding with that's training you, they're training you on how they police.
God damn it, there you go. Now here come a new. So hold on.
Yeah.
So now the academy done shape you. Now you in the hands of maybe a 20-year veteran.
Who they want you to be with?
They may have a disdain for the department. They may have a
Exactly.
disdain for this race. They may have so now they get to shape you, and this shaping is your foundation as an officer.
Right.
Until you become confident. They may take 5 years.
Right.
So for the next 4 or 5 years, you got the academy and you got your training officers in your head, shaping you. Talk about that.
Yeah, when you're with the training officers for that month, that training officer is supposed to, you will take different calls that's going on in the whatever zone that you're assigned to. You take calls, and they don't really expect a lot from you. Coming fresh out the academy, because they know for a fact you're fresh out the academy, so they know for a fact you're not going to have all the answers. All right. So, but the training officer's job is.
Are you making arrests?
Yeah, you're making arrests.
So even though they know you go make mistakes and you don't have all the answers, they still give you arresting powers over people.
They still have arresting power over people.
And they know you go make some mistakes arresting people.
Oh yeah. Yep.
God damn it, go out there and make some arrests.
You'll make some arrests. And
so that's why I told them, say, man, don't give us all the rookies over here. I said, come on, Chief, man, don't give us all the rookies in stop 6.
Yeah.
Because we gonna get all the rookie mistakes.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
square business.
Right.
So I pleaded with Chief George Fitzgerald, man, Chief Dean, man, no, don't give us the rookies over here, man. We gonna get all the rookie mistakes.
Right.
God damn, we got all these new motherfucking police over here, man.
Right. And they usually put them in some of the worst neighborhoods.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
So they can go learn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you mean to tell me that they put the rookies in the worst neighborhoods?
They put them. The rookies gonna go pretty much all over Fort Worth, but I've seen where they put a lot of rookies, inside some of the worst areas in Fort Worth.
You want to be gung ho, you want to kick your ass, you want to go be a cop, you want to run out and chase people. Yeah, you put them over there in them nigga neighborhoods.
They don't exactly,
and
but they don't know how to communicate.
And they gonna make all the mistakes of a rookie. So they don't have the season. You know, they may have an NPO over there, but the NPO ain't no 30-year seasoned veteran. The NPO don't know the community.
Right.
So you got these rookies over here patrolling the community, new on the force. They don't know nobody in the community. So what they gonna be doing? They gonna make an arrest.
Yep. And
So they can get the experience.
You got
to make the
it's
arrest.
basically it's an on the job training when you with that training officer. And like I said, the training officer he has a evaluation sheet that he looks at and seeing if whenever you go to a call, are you taking charge of your call?
Say you get over there. Hey, get over. You come. That's why they come to jail.
Yeah. Are you taking charge of your call? Are you being or do you know how to communicate with people when you're dealing with them? Do you know your laws? There's a lot of things that come with that. When those training officers are evaluating.
So, and a lot of times you can tell when the rookie on the scene because you get the supervising officer
and that pretty badge.
Yeah, and that shiny badge, right?
Yeah, shiny badge.
So you hear one say, "Well, what's your call?" So
yeah.
Now you hear the superior officer letting the rookie officer make a bad call or a good call.
Right, but here's more with that. Here's more. So when you're a rookie, I mean, you got a lot going on. So you have your training officer sitting on the passenger side.
You nervous in the motherfucker.
You're nervous with that. Now you got to listen to the radio, all right? Because the dispatch is very important to your job because they give you information on a particular call. They might tell you, hey, this call you're going to is priority one. Somebody might got a weapon, a gun, or whatever,
Yeah.
And then you got the MDC, which is that computer that sits in the middle. It looks like a laptop.
Yeah.
So you got all these different functions that's going on, and now this is all this stuff is being programmed. This rookie is trying to process all this, and that's when. You can see, and that's how you can. Sometimes you can be able to tell, when you get a rookie or whatnot, because, they look a certain kind of way. They look like, hey, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm trying to figure it out.
See, listen, that's why when I get them, I turn up a notch. Oh, you give me a rookie, I'm gonna rat this cage.
Man, they get nervous.
Yeah, I go, no, man, give me a supervisor out here. No, man, I won't talk to you, man. Yeah, I play the race card on. I get a rookie, he for that problem.
Yeah.
They got to get a superior to deal with me.
Yeah.
So I knew for about 2 or 3 years, I was dealing with a lot of rookies. So, now they couldn't do nothing with me.
Yeah.
They had too many rookies in Stop Six.
Yeah.
And so I would take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And I know.
But you know a good communicator when you see a police officer knows how to talk with you.
Exactly.
Because he seems confident.
Exactly.
He don't have talking points. He can talk with you. Most cops have talking points.
Right.
They have to stick to their talking points so they can keep control of the call.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
If you take them out their talking points, they want to put you in handcuffs. They don't know how to diffuse with words anymore.
Right.
Man, that's the biggest problem in our community with the young white officers. If you listen to what he's saying, man, most of these motherfuckers ain't never even spoke to us.
They ain't never had
until they get their first call.
That's crazy.
So when you think about the fact that they patrolling us with all of this going on, the shit that's going on in the car, as well as the fear that they have that they think we don't like them or we gonna do something to them.
The stereotype of the neighborhood already.
But the police put that in the academy.
Exactly.
It's a fear created in them in the academy to come out here and reach for that gun quickly.
Yeah, with some people it is, but with I can speak for myself. It wasn't,
You have very few people. Yeah. You have very few officers like yourself.
Yeah.
And officers like yourself, they come after they done seen something dramatic happen.
Right.
Once they see something dramatic happen, majority of the officers that's been there that got a conscience, they'll pretty much be like, man. So they'll become more vocal.
Mm-hmm.
When they run into somebody that's kind of hostile, because I saw that.
Oh, yeah.
I saw how they be like, hey, man, calm down.
Right.
Hey, man, don't worry about it. I got him. Hey, come here. Let me holler at you. Let me talk to you, man. Chill out.
Right.
Because I done seen officers act like that.
Yeah, and you got a lot
Then I also seen the officers do this here. No, get out the way. I got him.
Yeah.
Because now they wanna, now I'm macho.
Yeah.
I'm better than you.
Right.
So now here it is. We finna take him down.
Right.
So now what is the situation when you got an officer that's super aggressive? Are y'all trained to calm him down? Or y'all trained to tell him to stop? Or what are y'all trained to diffuse that situation with the officer being so aggressive? How are y'all trained when it come down to that?
Yeah, we got an officer that is aggressive. You know, we're not trained to, you know, tell that officer, you know, how to conduct himself. I have worked with officers that has, you know, had this aggressive mentality, and because I know how to talk to people, all right, and I have a rapport with a lot of them as well. So, you know, in the incident that I had, and I'll go ahead and share the story with you. I had a scenario that happened with this officer. He got fired as well, but he was a white guy, and it was a domestic situation that happened with a black student. Him and his mother had gotten to a disagreement with each other, and mom had called police, I was the first responder on the call. And mom said, "Hey, you know, this kid is out. My son's out of control. He want to do X, Y, Z. He don't want to go to school. He's trying to fight me, and so on and so forth, or whatever." So anyway, I make the location, I make the scene, and I go inside the house, and the student, the child was sitting in the living room, and mom was going into detail about, you know, what was going on with him, and the kid had some mental issues as well on top of it. So I bring the kid out of the house, and him and I were talking with each other, and everything was good. You know, when I was talking with him, you know, got him under control, and him and I was, you know, we were just chatting it up and we're talking about what was going on. Well, the officer that's aggressive, he shows up. So he ended up getting this kid pissed off to the point to where the mom had to come outside. I go and try to, you know, help her out or whatever. And I'm talking with her, and next thing you know, this kid is on the ground. The officer, you know, I don't know what led to it, but the kid was on the ground, and I knew the very moment that I heard that he was my backup, I knew for a fact that I said, you know, we're gonna have some problems because
He's an aggressive officer.
He's an aggressive officer.
This his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing or whatnot. So how I used to do it is if you know, for one, if you come on my scene and I'm the officer that's on charge and you start putting handcuffs on people or knocking people down, okay, guess what? That's your call now. You know what I mean? Because I'm stepping away from it, but I'm gonna document it, and I'm finna let some supervisors know what I was uncomfortable with because it was no call for that, you know. And you know, the officer had told me that the kid had, you know, bowled up to him or whatever. But I think, matter of fact, I know his approach to the kid. He was already on the 10 when he got there because he had listened to the call. He saw the details on the sheet. He was already wired up when he got to the scene.
Yeah.
And I'm already there talking with the kid, and he didn't even want to see or want to know what it is I knew about, you know, everything.
Situation.
Yeah, the situation.
Let me ask you something. Do they drug test police officers?
Yeah, I haven't got drug tested when I was there or whatever. So
when you pass the academy, hey, you motherfucker, they don't piss you out.
It's a from my understanding, it's a pop-up type of drug test. I've never been drug tested since I've been there. Never had one.
So they don't do randoms, do the UA say, man, we just want to see if you niggas getting high.
Yeah, I think they do. I heard they did. I don't know for sure.
Well, they must don't do it because they would know one thing about it, they gonna pee a nigga.
Yeah, well, I ain't never got
one
beat.
thing about a nigga, one thing, but nigga, 18 years, so they must don't do it.
I never got beat. I never had a
18 years.
Yeah, they must don't do it.
Never had a beat test. No.
Yeah, that's what they need. They need to start pissing these motherfuckers.
There's a lot of stuff they got that I feel like they need to do.
So as a black officer,
yeah,
you're on the force now. Have you ever looked and said, man, they don't treat black officers right?
Oh man, a lot.
At what part of your career did you start seeing or saying to yourself, they're not treating us right?
I would say right around year number, it's about halfway mark, about 8 or 9. You know, some incidents that
talk about it. Tell us.
Yeah.
Say we got Quavo nephew manager in the house tonight too, but we got to get this out. This is good shit for real. All right, now go ahead.
I can tell you where I started questioning a whole lot of things as well, but this is something that happened freshly, real recently. Everything that happened with the Jacqueline Craig.
Yeah, talk about that.
That really pissed me off because, you know, I really felt that the ball was dropped on that whole situation. That officer should have been fired. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because Officer Martin, that's his name, William Martin. Yeah, he should have been fired. Leading up to William Martin's doing what he did with that with Jacqueline Craig and the children and the kids, William had already, had evaluation saying that they felt like he was incompetent, to do the job.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
so he had.
I'm sorry, Miss Craig. I'm sorry.
His evaluation was already, not there, and they should not have had, him, at that location dealing with that whole situation with that Jacqueline Craig thing. But what really pissed me off was how everything unfolded with, there was some decisions made for this man to keep his job. All right. But, when everything had got leaked out with how people got the video and things like that, a lot of black deputy chiefs had got demoted behind that because they were saying, well, who leaked this out? Well, my thing is, how I felt about it was, look, if it don't matter who it don't matter.
Abdul, Prisoners, all
and Keys.
And Keys.
Good dudes, man. Real good. Yeah, Keys and all them good dudes. But my thing is this. Don't matter who leaked it out, don't protect the guy who did it. You know what I mean? Don't protect him. Why are you protecting him?
Yeah.
And why are these black deputy chiefs? Because from what I had told and what I had heard was, people was pointing at these deputy chiefs saying, "Hey, you guys leaked this out, whatever." And it was a big black eye to the department because they didn't want it to get out. Yeah. But when it got out, like I said, they started pointing the finger, and these black chiefs.
So you mean to tell me
got demoted?
They didn't want us to see Officer Martin slamming Jackie Craig down and her kid. They didn't want us to see that.
They weren't trying to see that.
So they were trying to hide that.
What happened to transparency?
That's right, and that's the reason why I was upset about it, whatever. Because if you didn't have nothing to hide, then why would you be so secretive about what happened to that woman? Because that was wrong for them, what happened with her. So the transparency should have been there. If people asking, hey, what's going on? Show me this, show me that. If you ain't got nothing to hide, just show them to them. Let them see what's going on.
So they demoted all these black chiefs.
Yeah, they got demoted. Yeah, and that's when I felt when that happened. When I saw everything that happened with Martin, I said, you know what? Especially him being white, only thing they gave him was like a week. Was it a week off or something like that? I forget what it was, but I think it was a week off
without pay
or something like that. But he got his job back. But when I saw that what happened with him, I said, oh man.
So he received a week off.
Yep.
Without pay.
Without pay. Yeah.
You got 3 black chiefs.
Yep.
They got demoted.
2 of them.
2 of them.
Yeah.
Got demoted.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. 2 got demoted.
Because they were trying to hide footage of a high-profile situation that the public was trying to figure out what really happened.
Right.
So if that video would have never got leaked, we'll still be in suspense right now.
That's how I seen it. Yeah.
They'll make a lie look like the truth.
Right.
If that video would have never got leaked.
Right. So to answer your question, that's when I was just like, man, you know what? Just looking how they handled that situation, and it's a numerous amount of more situation that occurred over my tenure with the police department. It just made me look at things differently. Matter of fact, I'll tell you another one. This one, good one. This was early. This was before the Jacqueline Craig thing took place. There was a black lieutenant, real good guy. I'm not gonna put his name out there, but I think he's retired now. But I'm not gonna put his name out there, whatever. This supervisor named Sergeant Ann Gates, and there was another sergeant named Cagle. I forget Cagle's name. Well, these 2 sergeants, and along with some other officers that they were supervising over, they had made some snowmans in the yard of in a field. Put it that way, in a field. And what they did was Sergeant Gates or Cagle, one of them, put a noose around the snowman neck, and they took pictures on the side of it. So the lieutenant, the black lieutenant, and a supervisor sergeant, when they found out that this happened, they were really upset about it, and they went up the chain of command with it and told Chief Halstead, if I'm not mistaken, he was the chief at the time, told Chief Halstead what had happened. So instead of Chief Halstead, doing what he's supposed to do to make sure he take care of these supervisors or whatever, Halstead brought the hammer down on the black lieutenant and the sergeant that made the complaint.
For snitching on their other comrade.
Right. So the lieutenant and the sergeant put in they filed a lawsuit against the city of Fort Worth.
And won.
Now, I don't know if they won or not. I don't know about that. But, nothing happened with the two supervisors. I think they got reprimanded. The two supervisors, I don't know if they got reprimanded, nothing like that, whatever. But people got upset about that, and that's another situation that really made me mad because they could have did something about that.
So why isn't there any black people on specialized units?
Oh man,
why it ain't no niggas on SWAT? It ain't no niggas.
Listen,
it ain't no niggas on unit.
You gotta know it with the specialized unit, because when I was in SRU, that's considered a specialized unit. Yeah. But they want black officers in SRU
because them the niggas chasing the violent crime niggas.
Well, you talking about it's the school resource unit. That's what SRU is. So they want black officers at these schools, especially O.D. Whites and Dunbar and Gene McClellan, the rough areas. They want you there.
Why?
You know what I mean? Oh man, because
the white officers can't deal with them black kids.
Nope.
Them black kids run over them white officers.
They do. Yep.
Them weak ass white ass school officers can't deal with them nigga babies. Yeah, them weak ass white. That's why they got to make arrests.
Yeah, man. But
and they can't communicate.
They can't communicate with
and they at the school with kids with trauma who can't communicate either.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. So hold on. Let's stop right now. So most of our children are suffering with some type of trauma, childhood trauma, whether it's abuse, abandonment, or neglect, impoverished conditions. They go to school. And you mean to tell me they got a motherfucking resource officer there who don't know how to communicate? They got to deal with children who don't know how to communicate? So when the teacher can't tell them nothing, they call the school resource officer. What is he coming for? To arrest?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Sometimes he's coming to arrest, or sometimes he's coming to take care of the best way he know how.
He can't communicate. How the best way and he can't communicate?
I heard you.
Yeah, for real.
What's the best way if this motherfucker can't communicate?
Right.
Nah, for real. They gonna lock your ass up right then. Hey man, look. Cause once it starts getting loud, they already.
I see why they took Rogers out then. Yeah. I see why they going in a new direction.
So to answer your question about why is it hard to get in these specialized units? With SWAT, gang, because with those different areas, whatnot, those are considered as those are specialized units, whatever. But they are, just like the creme de la creme.
They're white boy cliques, the good old boy.
You gotta know somebody to get in there.
So you gotta know somebody to get in those positions.
Right.
Not have the skill to get in those positions. You just gotta know somebody.
You gotta know somebody. Yeah, you gotta know. You can put because here's how I work with specialized unit. If you are interested in any type of specialized unit, you have to submit your paperwork, IOC, just explaining why you feel that you want to be in that take that position, your qualifications or whatever the case may be. So you have to fill all that out, and then they do an oral review board. All right. So oral review board is you got your superiors, the supervisor that's in that unit, and he is there to talk with you, try to get a feel if you're a fit for the unit.
See if you a snitch. See if you can fit in with the guys. See if we can trust you, and see if you'll turn. So they want to see if you are fit with the unit. So once you go through the oral review process, and they have all depends on what unit is open, but they'll have like a list of people, and they have you ranked from 1 to however many recruits they have. So how many positions you have available, and they order you, you'll follow order like that. But here's the thing though, I had a buddy, supervisor. He's a sergeant. All right, he's a black guy. Yeah.
I'm not gonna put his name out there neither. He was real sharp guy. All right. and he was applying for a position at I think it was traffic division. It was one of those cream of the crop, type of positions. All right. So they had, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, they had like 2 or 3 spots open. All right. So he was number 2 on the list to get that spot. So you got 3 spots.
Yeah.
He was number 2.
That way.
They took the guy, they skipped over him and took the white guy that was under him. And he went and filed grievances about why he explained to me why I got skipped.
Yeah.
So he filed all these grievances and whatnot.
We don't owe you no explanation, nigga.
Well, yeah, he filed grievances. He filed grievances about it. And he was getting a little backlash and a little heat from people because he was
called retaliation.
Yeah. And they told him, look, if you, basically, if you don't, kind of pipe down with this grievance, you got a target on your back now. So, if you go through with this, yeah, we can put you in a position. We can put you in a position, but it's gonna be some hell behind it. You know what I mean? Yeah. He took the position, but he laid low though. So that way, he wouldn't get bothered with not. But they do that kind of stuff at the job.
So what you telling me is that what we deal with as citizens,
yeah,
with the racial profiling and things like that, that's going on the inside.
That's right. It's going on inside with not. So
listen, it's supposed to be nigga. It's supposed to be if they supposed to have an annual fight between black and white officers somewhere at a secret location. No, somewhere at a secret location, it's supposed to be white officers versus black officers to see who the toughest. Man, and that's how we decide who run the department.
Right. Yeah.
No, cause most of them big old pink motherfucking cowards, homie, I swear they is.
But see, now I feel like that, like what you just said, I
hate black, I can't say that because you used to be a black cop. I don't hate y'all.
But see, that's what I'm saying. What I'm looking at though, and it's starting to make sense now. Cause you got all these positions that niggas want to get in.
But they can't get in.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But they can't get in. Because it's like, you gotta know somebody to get in these positions.
Right.
So when you feel as though that
Tracy
a
Carter,
white boy is in a position, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he say what's up to you and speak to you, you will feel like, damn, if I get cool with him,
I can get
in.
Yeah.
Right.
A lot of that go on.
Now here it come again.
Yeah.
He can control that black officer because he know when that black officer want to really get in.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm seeing you promote up. I'm a black officer.
Yeah.
We was in the academy together. I'm seeing you promote up the ranks. Nigga, you promoting up the ranks like Commander Shed, Captain Shed. Captain Shed was a rotten motherfucker. I know him personally. I used to tell everybody, man, Shed a rotten motherfucker. I saw him when he was captain. Then he went to deputy chief. Man, he was fucking all the young recruits. But I knew he was an ass kissing, but I can peep this. I used to tell him, man, you don't even belong up there. You done kiss ass to get to the top cottage boy. You a cottage boy cop. So I knew it because I can see his spirit, right? So if you start out and recruit with this white cop, or he was your sergeant at one point in time, now he a lieutenant, you kind of beholden to him if you want to promote.
Mm-hmm.
You can't never rock the boat as a black.
Yeah, a lot of that go on. Oh yeah.
You better not rock this motherfucking boat. If you went and made an arrest with us, and it's 2 black officers, and there's 6 white boys, and we broke a nigga jaw. Nigga was talking noise, but we shouldn't have broke his jaw. You can't tell us nothing. You 2 black officers can't say nothing to us.
Facts.
If y'all want to promote.
Yeah. And they gonna put the threat game down where, like you just said, you file agreements. Now here come the other white officers. Say, man, don't you go along with that grievance.
It's a problem.
It's what's gonna happen, man.
Yeah, it's a big.
So do you really want to do that? Now here it is. You got these black officers. Now they saying, they looking at, man, I got a wife. Man, I got kids. Man, man.
I've been here 12 years, man. I don't want to know all this time away.
Man.
Yeah.
So damn. Alright, man. I'm overlooked that.
Yeah.
So you got so many black officers that's willing to do that, and we trying to figure out like, why ain't nobody saying nothing about what's going on?
Yeah, right.
So right now we getting the real deal. The reason why they ain't saying nothing about what's going on,
Right.
we want answers.
Right, absolutely.
Us as citizens, man,
Why won't
we
the black
sit around,
police
we
say
want
nothing?
answers, man.
They better not say nothing.
Right.
But ain't no black officer ever came out and said, "Hey, man, look, this what's going on."
Right, and you won't, like you guys said, you won't see no black officer, come out and say they've been treated a certain kind of way, or they will file grievances and things like that or whatnot. Is because, like you said, they got a lot to lose, man. A lot of these guys ain't trying to lose their position. They're not trying to lose, they shift, time out, anything that's they benefited from. They're not trying to lose that, and that's the reason why you won't, a lot of these black officers. They're afraid to do that. They're afraid to be, speaking out against wrongdoing because there's going to be some retaliation behind it.
They oppressed too.
A lot of us, and you don't. And when you're going through the system like that, you don't understand that until it happens to you. When you're at the police department.
Yeah, they oppressed too, man. They live in systematic oppression as officers.
Mm-hmm.
So. Because you have
and then you I'm sorry to cut you out, Charleston, but then you wonder why the rate of a police officer, like they say, when it comes to police officer, the divorce rate is sky high. They start drinking and smoking and doing a whole lot of stuff they're not supposed to be doing, whatever, because everything that's going on inside the police department internally. It weighs on you, you're dealing with a whole lot. So that's the reason why you see, divorce rate and all that stuff going on sky high.
I had a partner of mine, right? His wife was a officer.
Uh-huh.
And he told they ended up getting they was end up getting divorced now. But in the process though, he had made a statement that once they got into it, he found out she was cheating, she fucking on the job. He found out, right? So when he went in, he said when he got into the booking, the sheriff down there told him, I done seen this before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I ain't do nothing. He said, no, man. He said, man, this is what they do.
Mm-hmm.
They fuck each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
so basically,
what they say.
So basically, if you see a female riding in the car with officers, at some point they gonna end up fucking because they're spending too much time together.
I've seen that happen.
So this is from
so now her kind of relationship shit.
Yeah, I've seen that happen
business
before.
gone out the door.
Yeah, I've seen it happen before. Where
it happened quite often. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is from our partner who's married to a police officer.
Exactly.
This is the culture. This is the culture. So this is a nigga that's married to a police officer. Mm-hmm. Man, this is the culture.
Yeah, but there are some cases and some incidents out there that
at the academy, they most police academy teach you probably won't keep you married.
Right.
Yeah, that's the joke of every academy.
Yeah.
So let's walk along further into your career. So you're halfway through your career, you're starting to see things that raise your eyebrows and saying, man, this is also some unfairness, even as black officers. In your time, did you ever feel unsafe patrolling in the black community?
You know what, I'm gonna be honest with you. Inside the community, I felt the safest.
Oh, wow.
For me, because even when I went to like my priority calls, see, Fort Worth, we got priority 1, priority 2, priority 3. Your priority 1 and priority 2 calls, that mean you have to because you ride solo, all right?
Yeah.
But when you go into a priority 1 and priority 2 call, basically you'll link up with another officer and then y'all both go to a call together. Priority 3, that's not necessarily a thing or whatever. But to answer your question, Charleston, I felt more safer than the community than I did with the police officers I was working with, because everybody that I encountered when I was on my beat or somebody else beat, I had to relate. I had a rapport with them. I know how to talk with them. I know how to communicate with them. Matter of fact, I knew a lot of these people by their first and last name. And what they did and what they did for a living, and I knew their kids and so on and so forth or whatever. So, but with the police officers I was working with, some of these guys, you don't know what their intentions are. You know, they don't know what their agenda is.
Wow. Yeah.
So, you know, that's the reason why I said, you know, a lot of times when I was out there patrolling, I went out there by myself. Even on the priority one call, when you're not supposed to, it is a forbidden thing to do that. But I would do that because I knew my ability, how I was as a police officer. I knew for a fact I felt more effective alone than with another person that I don't know what their agenda is. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you graduate from patrol. How did you get selected or appointed to be? Is that a promotion to go from being in patrol to a SRO, school resource officer?
No, that's not a promotion at all. Basically, you still get the same pay, but you get the perks and benefits of being in a specialized unit. Okay, so for me, it worked out for me is because, okay, I got a take home car.
Okay.
All right, so that eliminates my gas bill right there. You know what I mean? So you get take home car. You get weekends off, holidays off.
Okay.
You're in a specialized.
You kind of like banker's hours.
Man, yeah, you do. Yeah. So you get weekends off, holidays off, and then you're assigned to a school that they have available that's open. I used to always take. I used to do all my schools anywhere on the east side or whatever because I've always loved to talk with people that look like you and I. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I can talk to because I used to work JPL, the middle school. That's on the south side of Fort Worth, while the Hispanics at. Okay. I used to work over there as well, so I know how to deal with multiple races, multiple culture of people, ethnicities. So, but I felt the most comfortable
with your own people,
with my people. You know what I mean?
Exactly. As you should.
Right. Now, now with that aspect, working in the schools can be a little difficult because, some of the principals at the schools I worked at, and we talking about black principals. I'm not gonna name them names neither.
I know the name, but we got to.
Yeah. I'm talking about principals. They used to be at Meadowbrook.
They just as mean as the white boy. Get your
man. Yeah.
Well, let me just stop right here.
Oh, yeah.
If you see a black principal in a black school, they're held to a higher standard to discipline the children and punish the teachers because they got to prove to white folks they can handle this.
They can handle the situation.
And they got to be like Joe Clark. So they not go put. So whenever you see a black principal at a black school that got problems, they put there to be hard on black people. And they have to prove to these white people that I'm not gonna be with my people. I'm gonna do what y'all say do. That's their test.
I agree 1,000%.
That's their test.
I agree 1,000%. Yep. That's how I go down too. Yep. But like I said,
so don't shake hands with black principals at the school. They really full of shit, y'all. I swear to God. They can't get that position if they for the people. Yeah. If they give the district any inkling that I'm here for these kids and these parents and things, they can be there for the kids, but they have to talk against the parents.
Right. Yep.
Yeah. That's a whole nother topic, but
right.
So,
go ahead.
So, SRO, a school resource officer, what is their duty? What is their role? What is the mission of a school resource officer?
Okay, well, school resource officer, basically you're there for the safety and security of the school. All right. Basically, you are a liaison. Well, you're not a liaison, but you're an advocate between the school and the police department. You're the middleman between the school and police department. Okay. But another function of the job is you have to enforce the laws, the federal. The laws, the local laws, federal law. You have to enforce the laws as well, so you can make arrests. But you cannot write tickets. You couldn't write tickets or whatnot because the state had came up with a whole nother another law saying that you can't write tickets in the school anymore. So,
but you can arrest them.
You can arrest them. Yeah, you can arrest them. Yep.
That's some weird shit.
Yeah.
I gotta process that later. Yeah. I gotta process that later.
That's kind of that's kind of weird though.
Man. Yeah, but you don't want to. They're not. They gotten away from. Because a lot of officers was writing tickets like it was like it was nothing.
So they writing a lot of tickets writing the tickets for the kids.
Yeah, they used to do that. Yeah, but the state, people were complaining about that, and the state changed the laws on that completely. So that's the reason why they got away from writing tickets. And because anything that's a Class C's are your tickets, all right?
Okay.
When you're talking about Class B, Class A's, misdemeanors, those are arrestable offense or whatever. But Class C can also turn into arrest as well. You know, especially if like you know, like say let's say for instance somebody drunk and that person is a danger to themselves or others. You can make that you can take that person and put handcuffs in them and take them to jail or whatever. So that way, because they're no longer a threat or a danger to themselves or others.
Do you think do you think it was a good thing to take the tickets out of there?
Do I think so?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was a great thing for them to move those tickets out of
man.
there. Yeah, because
Okay.
why would you, you know, because see, you know, because some of these teachers and these principals, you know, writing tickets it was an easy way out. You know what I mean? And
so you saying the teachers and the principals was the ones that were behind all the
complaining? Yeah, they complain. Hey, you know, little Johnny won't take the phone and he cussed me out. You know, I want him to get a ticket. They get emotional. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
the emotions get involved.
It becomes a tool. It becomes a tool to control the kids.
There you go.
Yeah,
right. So that's the reason why I said it's a good tool that they moved it out, because anytime you write a ticket, you know, sometimes a whole lot of time with those students, you got to do a report behind it as well. You know, that stuff take time over something that. You know, because I wasn't there when little Johnny cussed you out. But what happened when you? What happened to little Johnny?
Word, yeah.
Yeah. What happened to little Johnny for him to cuss you out? What happened? You missing all that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So that's the reason why I said it's, to me, I thought it was a good deal for them to remove that out the way, because they could no longer use that as a tool. To be able to control that kid.
So that's what they do.
So now you're a school resource officer. Did you ever have to make arrests?
Can you close my?
Did you ever have to make arrests?
Yes, I did have to make arrests. Yep, I made some arrests. I did that. I did that a few times.
Did you ever have to draw your weapon?
No, I never had to draw no weapon. No, never had to do that.
So
you never had to draw your weapon at school, or you never drew it your whole time while you
as a school resource officer?
As a school resource officer, I never drew my weapon as a school resource officer.
Okay then.
No.
So going in, so you probably 12 years into your career now,
right?
At some point, you're a veteran school resource officer.
Veteran, yep. Know the job inside out.
You know the job inside out.
Never had no complaints. I've never been written up. Well, no. I got rid of by a supervisor, but that was a little something that her and I took place with each other. But never had no bad evaluations. Because with our evaluation, its system is from 1 to 5. I've always been between a 4 and a 5. I've always had a 4 or 5 on my evaluation. So that means I know how to make great decisions. That means I know how to communicate. That means I know my judgment is good. I don't make no bad arrests. That's what all that means saying about Officer Sims. I've also had awards. You know, I also been given awards to say, hey, this guy's a well buttoned up, put together kind of guy. So nothing about me said anything bad about Officer Sims.
And what about your reputation amongst your peers?
Reputation was excellent, immaculate.
You know what? I want to ask this while we here. It's a situation.
Yeah.
Now you an officer.
Yeah.
Now y'all got a big old thing right here that the body camera, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, with you, say that you pulled up on a car, right? And you talking to the kid that's inside of the car. Your camera automatically is supposed to get that.
Right. Because okay. Let me answer that question for you. All right. When we first started wearing those body cameras, all right, you had to manually
cut it on,
turn them on.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, officers know how to find a way to beat the damn system. You know, when it comes to that camera. So Fort Worth says, you know what, we having too many incidents to where people are saying officers are, a bad traffic stop, or I'm getting beat up, and officers forgetting to put that damn camera on. All right.
Okay.
So the city of Fort Worth said, you know what, we're gonna take care of this problem. So they install a system inside the cars that whenever you turn that sucker on, or whenever you put it in park, or you get out your car, it automatically flares on.
So it
automatically kicks in, because you're gonna get out your vehicle and get ready to make so that way people can't say, well, I forgot to turn it on.
Okay.
But then because at that time, if not mistaken, there was not a general order, and what a general order is orders specifically for an officer to say, these are the do's and don'ts, basically the commandments of how the police department is run. if you're in a unit or a specialized unit and things like that, whatever, you have orders that you
Yeah.
have to do, that you have to abide by. If you break those orders, that's how punishment come about.
Okay. So now you got a situation where, okay, your body camera say that, okay, I see this guy ended up running.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now this guy that ran. Now this guy told you, hey man, my name is Johnny Blow. My name is Johnny Blow.
Mm-hmm.
But I say that this is my cousin, this is my brother car I'm driving. The officer going there and say, his brother, look at the brother, look at it. Get the picture. You got two black guys. How is that officer able to say, oh, that was him? Or that was him?
Right.
Without looking at this body recording.
Right. Well, it all depends on that particular officer on that traffic stop. You know how he, because part of the job, man, you have to be able to be observant. You have to be able to, like I said, you have to be able to communicate as well. But you have to be observant and be able to be confident when you make these traffic stops, when you're meeting an individual, when you're talking to them, and being completely aware of your surroundings. And when you talk to individuals, to be able to, because part of the job is, if you don't have an ID on somebody, you have to be able to describe how they look when you saw them. You know what I'm saying? So, and sometimes with the driver's license, because I've seen some really bad, licenses as well.
Exactly.
And it's kind of hard to say which one is which, because like I said, I've seen some faded driver's license. I've seen some driver's license that, it might not even be that guy's picture or whatever. You remove that, it's somebody. I've seen a whole bunch of stuff. People get creative,
Exactly.
So, but it's up to that particular officer to be able to handle whatever it is that he ran up against and whatever he saw. That's up to that particular officer.
So now you're in the schools. You in there for a while. So tell us about the point that caused the separation between you and the police department.
Okay, yes, that's what I'm really eager to talk about.
I just wanted to walk everybody up to this part right here. So
this word get good.
So now we 18 years on the force. We're a veteran. We got a great name. We got a stellar reputation. And we're doing great work. And we got accolades and awards to support the work, right? As a great officer. So talk about the situation that caused the separation from the Fort Worth Police Department.
Okay, well, in 2017, I was assigned Metro Alternative School. All right. Metro Alternative School was, at that time, it was like 99% black. You was there, Charles?
Right? Yeah, I was there.
What would you do there?
I used to teach a class every Thursday with Miss Cecilia Zamora.
Okay.
With all the young Hispanics and black kids.
Yeah.
And it was predominantly.
Do you remember? There was a black man, that little short guy, man. He used to work with those, but they fired him, man.
Yeah, they fired him.
What's his name?
He used to be real cool with Johnny Muhammad. I'll think of his name in a minute.
Yeah. But him and Megan. Well, no, him and Young.
Me and Megan got into it. That's why I ended up over. That's why I stopped going. Me and Megan got into it.
Okay. All right. Well,
I didn't like how Megan treated the students.
Me neither. Neither did I. And I picked up on that too. Yeah. So I was assigned Metro Alternative School, which is 99% black. All right. The alternative school there, you have different kids from different parts of the ISD attending the school. Now, in order for you to attend this school, you have to have, if you got into a fight at your school, your problem at your school, or if you've had any type of interactions or arrest from the police department, because we had some kids that go to school, they want parole and stuff like that.
Yeah, about TJJ.
Yeah. So those are the type of kids that I was dealing with at that school. A lot of those kids at the school I had already knew, from working in the school district for a long time. I had a good relationship with them and so on and so forth. Well, in 2017, right around, because I got to Metro right around August, September, beginning of the school year. Mr. Megan, Gerald Megan and Randy Young was the principals at the school at that time. All right. So when they saw me, they met me. My supervisor, his name was Sergeant Johnny Salazar. All right. And now I never worked with Johnny Salazar, never in my life, because that was my first time working up under him as my supervisor. Because I came from the East Side, now I'm going to Central, which is where Metro is at. So Mr. Megan, and Mr. Young had talked with Johnny Salazar and said, "Hey, this guy is great for our school. The kids love him, the kids respect him. He interacts with the kids well. But I didn't know what they really wanted me there for is because I'm a nice sized guy. I'm 6'2".
Yeah, big nigga.
And I'm
Yeah.
6'2", 240, and I
Yeah.
I worked out and so on and so forth or whatever. So I didn't know that they really want me there to intimidate, to be a
Bully.
threat, a bully to these kids. I didn't understand it at the time or whatever, but it took me about a month and some change to realize, hey man, this is what's going on. This is what they want me here for. So when I first got wind of this, I sent my supervisor, Sergeant Johnny Salazar, I sent him a text message saying, "Hey Sarge, this school that I'm at right now, there's gonna be some problems in the future, whatever, because these people are trying to get me to make these bogus arrests. I cannot do that whatsoever, and I won't do it." And he says, "Well, if you don't feel comfortable making these arrests or whatnot, do I need to come out there with you and have a meeting?" I said, "No, not right now. We're not gonna have this meeting right now." I said, "What I'll go do, because I don't want to involve you in it right now, I'll go and sit down and talk with both of these principals to let them know what my job, what I can and can't do, what my job, responsibilities were." Well, when I had that conversation with them, afterwards I walked out like, you know what? I don't think we on the same page here, because the kids that Salazar, Megan and Young, they were afraid of these kids, man, and they wanted somebody to do something right away. They just want to point and choose and say who,
Yeah, get him.
Yeah, get him. Any kid that came through there that was a problem or they couldn't control, they want to stick the police officer on them. And
y'all hear that? Are y'all paying attention? Now keep going.
And I was the one who said, no. That's, if you're the principal over here, y'all found a way. I'll be here to monitor you or whatever, but you found a way, because this is your school, this is your problem. That's not a police problem. I'm not here to enforce house rules or school rules. I can't do that, So, we had an incident moving. So I was there. That happened. I had the first meeting right around September, October. All right. So November come about. And the date in question was November the 28th, if I'm not mistaken, November 28th, 2017. Megan and Young, they went outside and they found a group of kids outside smoking. All right. Now, they were a couple of feet away from the school, behind the school, smoking. And when they saw Megan and Young, the kids dropped whatever they had down on the ground. All right. So Mr. Young and Megan, they both ran up to the kids. The kids didn't run. It was like 4 or 5 of them. And whatever they picked up like a black and mild. That's what it looked like. And it was maybe about 2 inches long. We'll say that. And so they picked up the black and mild, brought it back to the school, and they gave me a phone call. They said, "Hey, Officer Sims, where you at?" I said, "I'm on my way to the school right now. I'm just leaving downtown downtown at the Commerce building. I'm on my way." I said, "But right now, I'm going to call the officer at JP Elder, because anytime a police officer that's your partner, he's at a neighboring school."
Okay.
All right. So I called him up. He came over to the school, and basically he was just there until I got there. All right. So when I made it inside the school, when I made it to the school, I go inside the principal's office, because that's what they told me they were at. I saw 4 or 5 students at the table, and they looked like they had been, doing a search, a pat down search on these kids and whatnot, see if they had any weapons or whatever the case may be on them. So I saw the 4 kids at the table. I saw the area advisor, she was there. I saw the police officer, he's a black guy, real cool guy. He was there, and then the 2 principals was there inside the office as well. So when I get inside the office, I see all this going on, and I say, "Well, what are you guys talking about? Where's the so-called drugs at?" So Mr. Young grabbed the black and mild off the table. He said, "Here it is." And I noticed it was cut open. So I folded the back. I'm like, well, where the marijuana at? Because this looked like a black. I know what marijuana looked like. I know what it smelled like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they may have been, because when I went inside the room, you know, the room was pretty, you know, lit. It smelled like marijuana, whatever, but those kids could have been smoking that, you know, somewhere down the road somewhere. You know what I mean? When they was at home, I don't know. But inside, it was a black and mild. I didn't see no residue of no weed, no nothing like that at all. So what happened was, after that, I said, look, ain't nothing I can do about it. This is a class. I mean, this is you know, considered as an incident for the school. You guys take care of that. So they said, okay, no problem.
And
What
Megan
happened?
didn't like that.
No, he didn't.
I
He
know they
didn't.
didn't like
He
that.
didn't like that. So here's what happened. So Megan got the kids to write a statement. It was three, all those kids, I got 3 statements. And all the kids said, hey, we were smoking cigarettes. We weren't supposed to be doing it. But here's what happened, and so on and so forth. Whatever. Megan wrote a statement, Young wrote a statement. Me and the officer, we had sat in my office, and Megan had went into my office, and he had gave me those statements. And I kept them with me, and that was the end of everything. No problem at all. Nobody said why nobody got arrested. There was nothing. In fact, those kids had got in-school suspension because the principals made it an incident to where the school intervened and suspended them inside the school in school suspension. So that was a wrap with that. So now we move into December. All right. December happens. I was sitting in my office, and the school had brought this black female to my office. They said, hey, she having mental problems. We want her arrested. I said, whoa, wait a minute. I said, because I got to do evaluation with her, because I just can't, you know, just arrest people because you say do it. Yeah. So,
man, that's damn.
So I'm talking to the student, and I'm doing my evaluation. The student said, hey, I just had some incident that happened at the house. I'm upset. I'm cranky. I don't want to be at school today. I said, well, do you want to hurt yourself? No, I don't want to hurt myself. No, none of that at all. Well, come to find out, you know, she was one of those students that was on Megan and Mr. Young's radar, that they wanted her to be off the damn property. They wanted me to get me involved to arrest her, and I wouldn't do it. So when I didn't do that, that pissed Megan and Young off to where they end up calling 3 other patrol officers, white boys, come to the school. And they said, I said, y'all can call them out here if you want to. I said, but they're gonna tell you the same thing I'm doing because I'm the officer on the property. So the white boy said, hey, look, Officer Sims said this, we're not gonna make no arrest. You know, we're gonna leave it like that.
They didn't like that
neither. So what they went a step further. They ended up calling the crisis intervention team, the CIT team. They talked with Sergeant Pavero and these detectives and so on and so forth or whatever. So when all that was going on, the CIT people came to the school. I'm sitting in my patrol car because at this time I'm like, you know what? I'm on the phone with my superior, with Salazar, and my chain of command, letting them know, hey man, you need to come out here and come and handle this because it's getting out of hand at this particular point. So Salazar says, well, Sims, you know, I'm not gonna do anything about it right now until, you know, they let patrol supervisor handle it. I'm like, well, wait a minute, you my supervisor. You need to come handle this, you know? He didn't want to come out and do that. So CIT make it to the school and they arrest the kid.
Oh man, that's crazy.
CIT arrest the kid. And when they arrest the kid, I'm documenting. I did my report. I told them exactly what happened, what transpired, so on and so forth, or whatever. So that happened on a Friday on December, and I called CIT supervisor, I called my supervisor, and I said, hey, we need to have a meeting because everything that transpired today, you know, it is way out of hand, you know. So that following Monday, we had a meeting. I had 2 meetings I set up on that following Monday with the CIT meeting and then myself, my supervisor meeting with the principals alone. All right. So during the CIT meeting, the objective of that was to explain to the school, to the staff, everybody that was involved, why CIT felt they need to arrest this girl after I had already said she didn't need to be arrested. So CIT explained their situation on why they did what they did. And I don't think we met a common ground with them understanding of what transpired, but we'll say that they did. So after that meeting lasted for about 45 minutes to an hour. Then what happened? We had the second meeting. This is where everything just fell apart at. During the second meeting, it was just me, my supervisor, Johnny Salazar, and the two principals at the school. And Salazar asked me to open up the meeting. So I opened up the meeting. I said, hey, this is what's going on. I'm not happy because you guys seem like y'all don't understand what it is I'm supposed to do. You with these trying to make these bad arrests and everything transpired with the little girl that got that arrested with CIT and so on and so forth or whatever. So Megan, Young, he gets upset. He says, since you're bringing up that, I'm finna bring up that was marijuana that you didn't arrest for, prior, the month prior or whatever, which was on the November the 28th. And when he said that, my supervisor, he told me to exit the meeting. He told me to leave the meeting. And I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. Why am I leaving the meeting? Because this man just made an accusation saying that basically I didn't, it was marijuana and, so why am I leaving this meeting, But he told me to leave the meeting. When I left the meeting, I was praying that my supervisor would come to my office because I had the statement sitting right there. All the statements that all these people that was involved in, I had all the statements there. He did not come by my office. He took the words of that principal, and on the 29th, he launched an investigation on me, which I didn't even know he launched an investigation on me until I ended up getting terminated. But anyway, moving forward to January the 29th. So I had that meeting in December, and then January 29th come about. I get a phone call from my supervisor saying, hey, you need to come inside the room. You need to come to the office. You've been complained on. And I'm like, what? What's going on? So when I go to the supervisor's office, he has a PC complaint with an internal affairs number on it, meaning he had already spoken to internal affairs. He had already made his mind up saying that I was guilty. He had already did all this stuff and basically he violated a lot of general orders. He violated some local government code, federal codes. He violated a lot of stuff. And that's more with that. So when
this shit crazy.
Man.
This shit getting deeper and deeper.
So when I read the PC complaint, he says, hey, you know what, right now, he says, I'm gonna give you, you wanna respond to this complaint, you have to fill out a waiver. And you can answer the complaint. So I said, Sarge, just read this complaint. I said, I got the statements, everything that transpired here, and it wasn't no weed. And when I said that, his eyes got this damn big because he had already found me guilty already,
Man, that's crazy.
So I went to my office, did the IOC, responded to the complaint itself, and I brought my statements up to him or whatever. And then once I did all that, he got everything. Then he took me out of the school, moved me to another school. But the only reason why he did that is because he went behind my back and got internal affairs to go and talk to the, just doing all kind of shady stuff behind my back with the principals and get them to do statements and a whole bunch of other stuff, whatever. But here's the thing. Salazar, he was whenever internal affairs get involved, the supervisor has to pull off. And supervisor cannot help internal affairs with an investigation. All right, ongoing investigation. Detective internal affairs detective Alicia Duncan got the case, but she had got the case from a supervisor who's now the PIO, Chris Daniels. Y'all know Chris Daniels? Mm-hmm. All of them incompetent. So Chris Daniels received a phone call from Salazar saying, hey, do you want to take this? He said, yeah. So Daniels gave the complaint to Alicia Duncan, which is the detective for internal affairs. So Duncan gets it, and then she let Salazar go, and after I wrote my complaint, after I wrote my response to the IOC, she let Salazar help her with the investigation. He's supposed to be, he cannot be moving forward with no investigation. He has to stop, but he didn't, because he went and started talking to those kids and made them change everything. Everything that they wrote me in November, he made them rewrite everything and say, yeah, it was dope, it was marijuana, it was everything. And they took that. Yeah,
man.
they took it. So Alicia Duncan, Chris Daniels, Sergeant Salazar, they all went back and they all took this report. I mean, they took the complaint, took the witness statements. They already moved me out of the school. So now I'm in street clothes. And then everything is going to the up to the chain of command and whatnot. So internal affairs called me to the office and said, hey, we want to talk to you about what's going on, what happened. And they talked to me as well. And then another complaint came that Salazar had filled out saying that I had stole time. That I was stealing company time. See, what they do is when they lie on you, that's slam to come behind it. You see what I'm saying? Because that's because a lie can hold up by itself. Mm-hmm. You gotta have something else so that way the lie can hold up. So they say I was stealing time or whatever, which is a government. When you steal time, that is a federal government violation. When you can be held accountable for that. You can get some prison time behind that. I never got no prison time or none of that whatsoever behind it. So anyway, so now I'm in internal affairs. I'm addressing all this information. I'm addressing everything that transpired, telling them, hey, look, I didn't do none of this you guys said I did. I got the evidence to back me up. They didn't want to hear none of that whatsoever. They basically said, in their mind, you are guilty. We don't have anything to say you're guilty, but we know you're guilty, and we're gonna stick to that. Get some water here.
So you end up
I want to hear that. It's crazy.
So you end up getting fired.
Yeah.
You had a tragedy that happened in your family.
Yes.
You lost your brother.
My brother was killed. A month before I was terminated. And the Ford Police Department knew that I was going through this with my brother, because when my brother got killed, it was a high profile crime, because it happened when he got killed. It had went on every social media outlet, news media, everything covered it. So when my brother lost his life and he got killed, when we buried him, it was like a few weeks later they called me back up into the to the police department. Nobody said, hey, officer, I'm sorry for your loss. Nobody said, hey, we thinking about you. Nobody said nothing like that whatsoever. What Detective Alicia Duncan told me when I went and talked with the police chief, before I went to go talk with him, she says, and I'll never forget it, it stays with me for the rest of my life. She says to me, Officer Sims, you need to go in there and eat crow. Basically meaning telling me, because that was her last hurrah. Because, her investigation is already complete. But her last hurrah was for me to go in there and change my story. So that way, she don't look as bad, because she knew for a fact that they screwed everything up with my investigation, and they didn't have anything. So she said, the chief of police is going to fire you. You need to go in there and eat crow, because if you don't, you're going to get terminated. Now, mind you, when she said that to me, it was something in my spirit said, you know what? This, I know for a fact, you are not for me at all. Because I know for a fact, if I change everything that I did, knowing I was in the right, if I go in there and talk to them folks and say I changed everything up, I lied, everything that all my evidence that I have that's working for me and saying that I know for a fact that I didn't do it, it would have been completely wiped away, because they would have said, we don't know what to believe with Officer Sims.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And that's what they wanted me to do. And I'm saying to myself, look, you guys gonna fire me anyway, whatever, but I'm not gonna change nothing. Everything is what it is. This is how it's gonna be. That's how, I did my due diligence. I did my job to the best of my ability. And I was not gonna change. I didn't give a damn what they said as far as like with me losing my job, whatever, because I serve a bigger power. You know what I mean? Because the truth is gonna always come out regardless. So when I went inside to talk with the chief of police, it was Chief Fitzgerald, all his deputy chiefs, internal affairs laid it out. So it was a total of about 6-7 people in there. And it's a very uncomfortable seat when everybody's looking at you as a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So Chief Fitzgerald, he's kind of suspect, man, because, you don't know what you're going to get with the guy, And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, I didn't really feel much that he was like a leader anyway. I just felt like he was a puppet. You know,
He was.
That's how I felt about the guy.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna bash the brother, but I expect him to do better. You know, especially with him being the head hot. You know, the top cop in the police department. So after I'm talking with chief of police and all these superiors, all these people with these pretty shiny badges or whatever, he told me to leave the office and they gonna make a decision. So I left. And about 20 minutes, they started, deliberating about what they're gonna do with me. I came back inside the chief office, and he said, "Officer Sims, we made a decision, and we're gonna push for indefinite suspension." And when he said that, I remember just kind of sitting back, had my arm crossed, and all these white folks and the chief, they all look at me like this. Want to see if I can get a reaction out of me. Mm-hmm. So I held my head up high because I'm already going through a lot. Man, my brother just got killed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can care less about the damn job. The job is, I can get another job with it. I'm not concerned about that. I'm more worried about trying to take care of my family and get everything together with them. So when he told me I was terminated, I stood up, I walked to him. I shook all their hands. I made sure they see me, not looking like they, depressed down with, because I don't want nobody to, have no kind of power with me like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I shook all their hands. I walked out. So in the department, whenever you leave, and they want to add insult to injury, this is what they do to you. So when you fired, you gotta give your gun. Well, you get your gun and badge taken from you during the internal affairs process. So I had no gun and badge, but I still have my uniforms and belt and all that stuff like that or whatever. So what they do is, you got to turn on everything. You got to turn in your government. Your general orders. You got to turn all this stuff in or whatever. But what they do is they pull this. You got this cart that you have to push. On the front of this cart, it says "Dream Killer." It says "Dream Killer." Basically. That lets everybody know that your ass is fired. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have to put all your stuff in the bag, and you have to just, be insulted, and push this cart to the place to where where they take up everything and you decommission.
Yeah, I wouldn't do none of that. Yeah, I walk out straight. Y'all get when I get my last paycheck, I bring this motherfucker. But I'm not following no protocol like that, nigga. Yeah, walk of shame or
it is a walk of shame. Yep, that's exactly what it is.
No. You supposed to get naked and walk there through your drawers. Motherfucker fire you go.
Yeah, take all this. Yeah.
Swing that motherfucker, grab you. Look at that white boy. Yeah. Hold your dick.
Yeah.
Ready to fight a motherfucker.
Yeah.
No. That's how you supposed to do that.
No.
Yeah. So you got, and like I said, that's their way of shaming you. And
you supposed to break one of white boy jaw. You like when a nigga on the phone and your mama say, I'm sick of you going to jail. I'm not coming to get no bond money.
Yeah.
When you hang up, you supposed to look around the tank and jump on the white boy sleep in the corner.
Yeah.
Take all your frustrations out on that white. You supposed to whoop one of them cheeks.
Yeah.
And nigga, they wasn't nothing but bullshit ass misdemeanor.
So when I got fired from the police department, now you have to get an attorney, and you have to get an attorney to help you try to get your job back. All right. Now I'm going through the hearing process, and that's when I went through the hearing process. That's when you find out all the stuff that they messed up at, and how they railroaded you, and who was all involved, and so on and so forth.
That was a heartbreaking process, wasn't it?
Very heartbreaking. Oh yeah, it was very heartbreaking, man. Because you ain't got no job, man, and you trying to put the pieces together, saying what the hell happened, especially when you don't know what happened.
Exactly.
And during that time, man, I had just lost my brother, man. I had just lost my brother. I ain't got no job. I got, I'm trying to put pieces together. I mean, just trying to figure things out. You know what I mean? And I ain't had no time to grieve, man. I ain't had no time to grieve at all, because I'm dealing with, media people calling. I'm dealing with, trying to get my family together and trying to get attorneys for my brother and and make sure my mom and dad are good. I mean, the list keep going and going and going and going. So
right.
that's what I was going through at that time.
So let me ask you this: are there dirty officers?
There are dirty officers. There are. Yep. Man, you got some officers out there with so much damn dirt on them. Hell, a bloodhound couldn't even sniff them out.
And they still working.
They still working. Yep. They still working.
What's the relationship like between black officers and black officers? Or is there a camaraderie? Do they look out for one another?
No. And that's where I feel that we are very, very weak at when it comes to black officers having, supporting each other. We're not strong in that area at all. That it's always been that way. And especially if an officer, go through it, or he's being reprimanded, demoted.
Black officers don't come supportive.
No.
They stay away from you.
Man, they stay away from you, brother. Yeah.
It's just like the slave. It's just like the slave who done got whipped. The other slave can't go over there and help him.
Right.
Yeah, they better stay away from him, or
right.
their ass go get whipped too.
Right,
yeah,
right.
So
and we talking about. I'm sorry.
ahead.
And I'm talking about. We talking about black. I'm talking about black people, black supervisors that's up the chain. You know what I mean? That you can pull. You can say, hey man, lead this dude alone or whatever. You can.
And they'll leave him alone.
But they ain't gonna do it though, man.
Because it's like, how did they get up their chain?
Yeah, you good.
So if they got up their chain by kissing ass, who ass they kiss? They had to kiss that white boy ass.
Yeah.
So in closing, I'm gonna let you close us out, man. Address the people, address the department. What you want to say? Cause it's going out to the airwaves.
Yeah.
So what is it you want to close out and tell us, or tell the people, or tell the world?
Well, I will say this. All right. With the black police officers that's in the department, and I'm not just talking about Fort Worth, period. We're talking about Dallas, Houston, all the black officers that's there. I would say that I will hope that we do better with camaraderie, and not let these these white officers or take advantage of us, whatever. Because at the police department, that's not, especially Fort Worth, that's not a lot of us black officers that are there.
Sure ain't.
And a lot of us there.
That's crazy.
And we all we got. We all we got, and we have to do better with making sure that we don't get stepped on and weed us out and so on and so forth. Well, because we have a lot of black officers that actually want to be at the department and do a good job and help provide service for the community, because Fort Worth is it's a community that supports the police department. They're very supportive.
Every aspect.
Yeah. In every aspect, they are very supportive. So, but I would want to have those black officers to be more supportive and to help us out or whatever. And I also want to say this: the thin blue line is a myth. Because in that thin blue line, you got a black line on the top and you got a black line on the bottom of it, and that's where your black ass belong. Gotta leave the mic on that.
Man, shit. Next week, next episode, we gonna
Drop the mic.
say, ooh, golly, man, ooh,